Yeah, thanks, Lindsay. Yeah, Kevin, you had a lot of control in that game until the last few minutes. A little bit of a scramble there.
Yeah, I think we made it ourselves a little bit difficult. You know, I think we were a little bit tired with all the games that came up, and I think they were very, very negative, very defensively for 70 minutes, and then we knew with the changes it's going to be a different game. But then we have to try to keep it in their half, and we didn't do that. But I think we still could have scored the second one. They had like a couple of moments, more from our doing, I would say, but in the end it was a good victory.
Free kick, you needed a breakthrough. The free kick was fantastic. It almost looked like you got a bit of topspin on that one.
Yeah, yeah, it goes perfectly in, you know. It's a lot of risk in the ball, but yeah, today it went perfectly, and luckily it's a 1-0.
We have to give some credit to your goalkeeper as well. It's a sensational save from Tielemans' volley.
Yeah. Eddie's been great, you know. Sometimes you only talk about his distribution, but he's been a great keeper for us, and he proves it every week.
Yeah, and you were talking about with Pep this week. He was giving you a little nudge. He was saying you want to see more from your game. Did you deliver today?
Well, you know, we always have to do better. You know, I think I've been doing fairly good, but sometimes, you know, some games are more difficult than others, and I'm trying to contribute. That's the only thing I can do.
People are wondering how you were going to do without Haaland. Obviously, you had plenty of titles without him, but did you miss him today? A little bit of cutting edge missing?
Yeah, but I think we created enough. It's very difficult with or without him if a team plays with 11 behind the ball, so I don't think that changes. We proved it. We can do it with him and without him. We have a good team.
Great win, an outstanding performance. You got the man in a match trophy. Well done. Thanks, Kevin.
Yes, it was a Kevin De Bruyne wonder goal to secure a 1-0 victory for City to send Pep Guardiola's side top of the table. And we can hear from the City boss now with Des.
What did you make of that win? You had to dig in at the end, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, definitely. It was, yeah. They changed a little bit, so... Well, real difficult game, because attack with 10 players there so deep is not easy. It's so difficult. We concede few. And after we scored a goal, like we started really well the second half. They continued to do in that way, and of course said, okay, you attack or you wait. What do you have to do? And the moment when they change the rhythm, you have in a low rhythm, because we play in low rhythm all the game because they play in this way. And of course, in Premier League, at the last minute, when you are in that situation, it always is difficult. But massive victory for us.
And it's a great team performance, but there were two outstanding moments. Kevin De Bruyne's free kick was a special one.
Yeah, definitely. He's back.
He's back. Because you said this week you were looking for more from him, giving him a little nudge, encouraging him to play.
I was not playing good the last games.
Was he playing good today?
Yeah, but amazing. He knows it. Yeah. He's a player, we need the dynamic, had to be free and the conditions, but it's difficult. So it's back five, Bardi's already with a holding midfielder, 4 players in the middle that close to the back five in the 18-yard box. It's not a space, can do in transition and a movement the second position, but we are not exceptional team for the runners from behind or runners for the second action. So that's why be patient, don't get frustrated, don't concede the counter-attacks, not give free kick to corners like Maddison is a master in this position, but we defend really well. And and at the end, when we should keep the ball, we were of course tired. They increased the rhythm. We were playing in our low rhythm, and that's why we suffer.
And when they did get through, Ederson, a fantastic save from that Tielemans.
Yeah, definitely.
That changes it.
Definitely.
And how Alaves has got big boots to fill with Haaland out today. How do you think he did?
Julian,
yeah.
Yeah, it's not space. He moved really well, but if you put doubles there, it's difficult. When they defend in this position, it's so difficult. So for all the strikers, who have been when we play at home against Bournemouth, Erling played there and didn't touch one ball. Play I think 4 or 6 touches. So it's really difficult in transitions. At the end, when they open, we had a little bit more chances. The transition from Kevin, but yeah, Leicester away is always complicated. We came here with the best moment of them, and as a good result, when you play Saturday 12:30 and you win, now we're just waiting what the rest is going to do. We have 2 games left in the Premier League, 2 at home. We have to try to do our job, and after we see what happens.
Job done today.
Thank you so much.
Pep.
Yes, he said it was a massive win, Jolien. Is that because they weren't at their thrilling best today, but they did what they had to do?
Yeah, definitely. I think away from home, it's a well-earned victory when you get 3 points. It's never going to be easy. Leicester are in good form. but he's a fair analysis of the game. We heard Brendan Rodgers speak before the game in regards to them wanting to create overload. So I think maybe a potential of him having 5 at the back, then putting 6 forward and leaving more space for the counter-attack, that may have played into his thought process. But again, I think their overall approach to it was fair. But then you've got moments of brilliance from Kevin De Bruyne.
I mean, it's consistent analysis between the manager and Kevin De Bruyne as well, both saying it's difficult to play against these teams. We've played against teams like this where they're pen back, they sit back and they wait for one moment, a set piece, whatever it may be in the game. But they're hard to beat. They're resolute. There's no gaps between them. And like you said, you have to be patient, and it's going to take a moment in that game when someone comes out and says it's going to be me, and more often than not in this team it's Kevin De Bruyne, and today it was him again.
Absolutely. Well, he said that he wasn't playing well. He had 9 assists, 2 goals coming into this game, but he's back now, Joe, which is bad news for everyone else.
He's been dreadful. He's been dreadful, Linz. Really poor player. But from Jack Grealish, first of all, this is what he's in the team for. He just that touch, driving, and then everything he said he's on the pitch to do, win fouls. Allow them to get to the defensive shape, and then it's all about this man. I mean, you don't need to talk about Kevin De Bruyne. That is absolutely the sound as he hits the post is beautiful. Listen to this. You can't hear it there.
Yeah, but Joe, that's what Pep was talking about in regards to not giving opportunities for Maddison, because he was so aware of the threat there. But obviously, Mendy will be like unfortunate.
That is like you're setting up. You're Leicester. You're setting up. You're doing everything right. But when you've got an absolute genius on the other team who can hurt you from there, and it was going to take something like that. It was an outstanding free kick, as good as we've seen.
By the way, KDB's not playing well. It's the most chances created and most assists in the league this year.
Yeah, that's the standards.
Crazy standards.
There's only Haaland got more goal involvements than his 13th. You spoke to Pep about him yesterday, didn't you? And about him wanting more from him. What is it that he wants to see from him?
I think it's defining moments in games, and I think controlling the rhythm, but also defining games like he did today. But I think it's also is like he's at an age now, Kevin De Bruyne. There's not really much more a manager can do for him. He's trained, he's honed these skills. It's about making sure that he is in the right positions at the right times in the game to really have real impact in this game and influence not only the game from his point of view, but influence others around him. And I think he has that now, and I think he's the best midfielder in the league, hands down. There's no one near him in the league in terms of performance, the way he plays, the way he influences now, and he's a real joy to watch when you're here.
Is that just really good management from Pep, recognising that even the very best players need that little bit of motivation at times still?
Yeah, definitely. And I think they've built up that relationship in order for him to say them things in open public. But again, he recognises that this will be the peak of Kevin De Bruyne's technical ability and game understanding. I think there will be previous years when he's physically better, but his game understanding will not be at the level it is now. So I think Pep means that them two things match together. Now you should be giving us the most and the best version of yourself, and he continues to produce moments of brilliance like that. I'm sure we're going to enjoy it for a long time.
When you talk about the best Premier League midfielders of all time, where does he rank?
He's in the equation. He's in the equation. You really have to dig down and go into. It's a real debate. You know, what is a midfielder? You know, but he is certainly in the equation. And I think Jolin's right. He's at the peak of his powers in a sense, physically, mentally, tactically. He's also got a team around him that I don't think has ever been as strong as this, because he's got Haaland, the best centre-forward number 9 in the world. So if you've got Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland, forget about the rest of them. They're all fantastic, world-class footballers. Just them two. You know, I think this could be the year for Manchester City in terms of winning the Champions League, but that's another debate. But yeah, everything set up around Kevin De Bruyne is for him to give us the best, year 8. And if he does that, he's already in the equation. But anything, he could be the best.
To be sitting in that debate, though, I mean, you think of the names: Steven Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, Keane, Vieira, Yaya Toure, like Kevin De Bruyne. That 7 there, probably even David Silva. There's a 7 or 8 there. You go, happy to just be in that conversation.
Joe Linton.
I'm sure, but funny Lizzie. No disrespect, he's doing really well. But I think Kevin De Bruyne will be sitting there, and I'm sure in his head that he just thinks about himself as well. But at the end of it, he'd like to think that he's going to be up there in that conversation, right near the top. And it comes down to winning as well. Got to win things.
Ballon d'Ors are up for grabs now, really, as well. Do you know what I mean? Now that Messi and Ronaldo have sort of seemed to be maybe not in contention. Messi might come back, but now Ballon d'Ors are up. We've seen Benzema win it. Kevin De Bruyne, he'll be thinking to himself, one day maybe I could be crowned the best footballer on the planet. That's the company he keeps.
Yeah, really good company of the Premier League players as well who've scored more than 50 goals. There's only Beckham and Eriksen who've scored a higher percentage from outside the box. He just has that amazing ability, doesn't he, from distance?
Yeah, his variation. You'd probably say he could get more goals by arriving in the box, so that's a different skill set. But in terms of technique, he's definitely up there. For me, David Beckham was arguably the best at free kicks, but Kevin De Bruyne's consistency with just hitting the target and making the keeper work. But today, 2 keepers wouldn't have saved that.
Yeah.
Again, you put a man on the floor to stop that. The ball can't jump as high as the crossbar, and all of a sudden it's over and you're 1-0 down and your game plan's out the window.
The final pass, is there anybody we've seen in the Premier League era better than him? On the run, final pass.
Yeah, on the run, I think that's the difference, is when he's transitioned to be so explosive and all of a sudden see the space. And we've seen it numerous times where players could make runs because he's going to attempt it.
Yeah.
He may not get it there, but he's going to attempt it and he's going to make defenders defend, and that would be the hardest thing.
The confidence as a wide man or a forward when he's playing, you just, even if you've got an average run, just stay on side and he will find you. He's like this. He's the sprinkler, isn't he, in the middle of the park, just dropping it everywhere. Love watching him.
We could wax lyrical about Kevin De Bruyne all day, couldn't we? He's such a special player with a special goal today. We're going to get some reaction from the Leicester camp now, though, because James Maddison is with Des.
Close at the end.
Yeah, we're pushing. You know, when you play City, it's one of them. You've almost got to take your medicine almost and accept the fact that they're going to have large periods with the ball. And there's times where you just feel like you didn't touch the ball for 10 minutes. But that's what it's like against arguably the best team in the world. So, but we were solid. We obviously felt compact. We went with the 5-4-1 shape and limited them to probably as little amount of chances as probably you can with City, and the difference was a moment of brilliance from probably the best player in the Premier League.
2 moments of probably Kevin De Bruyne scoring, but then Everton saving that Tielemans volley.
Oh, what a save. I had the side view because I took the corner, but I mean, we practiced it in training. I don't think you hit one that sweet. It's a brilliant save onto the crossbar and fine margins in the Premier League, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of talk about the side and how you're developing. There's plenty of positives to take out of this, isn't there?
Yeah, especially the last 20 minutes. You know, we obviously changed the shape with 2 strikers and we were pushing and pressing and had chances, but ran out of time. It felt like, you know, a large part of the game they had the ball, so you've got to accept that. Like I said, take your medicine and hopefully take one of the chances that you do get, because you can sometimes not get many against these. But we stayed in the game, which was the important thing, and that was the message. Even when obviously Kevin scored the brilliant free kicks, they can easily go 2 and 3 in the next 5 minutes. So it was about staying in the game, getting to that end period and being in the games, just knowing that we can take that one chance and we'll come away with a point, but wasn't to be today.
And Pep was very complimentary about Leicester. He put his arm around you as you were walking off the pitch. What was he chatting about?
He's asking why we didn't play like the last 15 minutes of the whole game, but I think he realises it's not as easy as that. But a top manager with a top team, so it's always going to be tough.
Cheers, thanks.